Accountability is not built overnight. It is strengthened when citizens understand their rights, when media ask the right questions, and when institutions respond with transparency. Since late 2025, targeted anti-corruption and accountability interventions implemented under the ETAP framework, with support from partners, have begun to produce measurable change across communities, media platforms, and public institutions. This video explains what has changed, why those changes matter, and which actions plausibly contributed to these outcomes. Section 1. Community Empowerment and Reporting Mechanisms. What has changed? Since Q4 of 2025, community members in MANDEVU constituency are engaging with corruption issues differently. Participants of the anti-corruption workshop, including ward development committee members, journalists, youth representatives, and community-based organizations, have demonstrated increased confidence, skills, and willingness to identify, document, and report corruption cases. Rather than raising concerns informally or through rumors, community members are now using structured reporting pathways. Their concerns are systematically channeled to law enforcement agencies through the LEAS Feedback Forum, facilitated in partnership with Transparency International Zambia and the Makonde Center for Investigative Journalism. Through this process, multiple concrete cases were uncovered, including illegal police charges, favoritism in health service access, irregular allocation of constituency development fund contracts and scholarships, fraudulent transport refund claims, exploitation of women seeking access to market stands, unlawful payments demanded for school enrollment. Why is this change important? This change is important because it bridges the gap between citizen experience and institutional response. For many communities, corruption often feels invisible or untouchable. By strengthening reporting pathways and follow-up mechanisms, citizens are no longer isolated from enforcement systems. This improves trust in accountability mechanisms, increases the likelihood of action, and reinforces the message that reporting corruption can lead to real consequences. What contributed to this change? These outcomes were made possible through the anti-corruption workshop conducted in MANDEVU, which built practical reporting and documentation skills, and participation in the LEAS Feedback Forum in December 2025, which enabled structured engagement between citizens, civil society, and law enforcement agencies. Section 2. Media Engagement and Quality of Public Discourse. What has changed? Since Q4 2025, media practitioners participating in Hot FM radio programs have shifted how corruption is discussed on air. Instead of general awareness conversations, discussions are now framed around specific public institutions, identifiable service delivery gaps, clear accountability obligations of duty bearers. This represents a move from abstract messaging to issue-based, institution-focused dialogue. Why is this change important? Quality public discourse plays a critical role in accountability. By focusing on institutions and service delivery outcomes, the media helps citizens understand how corruption directly affects their access to healthcare, education, infrastructure, and public resources. This approach also places pressure on institutions to respond, explain, and improve their performance. What contributed to this change? This shift was supported by 3 Hot FM radio programs featuring the Anti-Corruption Commission, National Prosecutions Authority, MISA Zambia, Publish What You Pay, and the Fighting Inequality Alliance, and ETAP advocacy messaging that emphasize service delivery and institutional accountability. Section 3. Digital Engagement and Continuous Participation. What has changed? From Q4 2025, AAAC's sustained social media engagement has expanded accountability conversations beyond physical project locations. With a total reach of 38,527 people, citizens continue to interact, provide feedback, and engage in issue-based discussions on corruption and service delivery. This has enabled continued engagement, particularly among youth and urban audiences who may not always attend physical meetings. Why is this change important? Digital engagement ensures momentum is maintained between project activities. It allows accountability conversations to continue in real time, supports wider national reach, and creates space for continuous citizen participation rather than one-off engagement. What contributed to this change? This outcome was driven by weekly AAAZ social media postings aligned with EATAP objectives, focusing on corruption trends, accountability messages, and citizen rights. Section 4. Institutional Ownership and Policy Reforms Department of National Registration and Citizenship, DNRPC. In February 2025, the Department of National Registration and Citizenship transitioned from informal service commitments to a formal service delivery charter, with technical and advocacy support from AAAZ. The charter has since been approved by Cabinet Office, marking a significant institutional milestone. Why this matters? This demonstrates institutional ownership of accountability reforms and strengthens collaboration between civil society and government in improving justice sector service delivery. Contributing actions, sustained advocacy, stakeholder engagement, and policy dialogue facilitated through ETAP activities and partnerships. Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC. During Q4 2025, the Anti-Corruption Commission initiated the development of its service delivery charter and formally invited AAAZ to provide input. Why this matters? Embedding accountability principles within a key enforcement institution enhances transparency and public trust in anti-corruption service delivery. Contributing actions, AAAZ advocacy, participation in multi-stakeholder platforms, radio programs, and collaboration with TIZ and ACC. Ministry of Justice from Q4 2025. The Ministry of Justice commenced the development of its service delivery charter and has since launched the approved charter, whistleblowers policy, and related accountability reforms. Why this matters? Introducing service standards within a central governance institution has the potential for system-wide impact on justice delivery and public accountability. Contributing actions, continuous ETAP advocacy, public accountability messaging through radio and social media, and sustained engagement with government institutions. In closing, across communities, media platforms, and public institutions, change is taking place. Citizens are reporting with confidence. Media is asking sharper questions. Institutions are adopting service standards. These changes demonstrate that when strategic advocacy, informed participation, and institutional engagement come together, accountability systems can be strengthened. This is not the end, but a foundation for deeper, sustained reform.